So today we will discuss about the pH, total dissolved solid, major ions, minor or trace elements, hardness, salinity, alkalinity. So these all the topics today we will discuss one by one in details. So first of all, we'll discuss about the pH. So pH is a very important factor for the water quality parameter. There are so many reactions which totally depends on the pH. There are three pH range. First of all, 0 to 6.9. This is the acidic range. Then 7. This is the neutral, and then above 7 up to 14. This is the basic pH range. What is the pH? pH means pH equals to minus logarithm of pH. pH equals to minus logarithm of concentration of H plus concentration of H plus. Okay, so pH refers to the effective concentration of the hydrogen ions. This is called the pH. It ranges, what I told you, it ranges 0 to 14. For the obviously for the overall range for the pH is the 0 to 14, and acidic pH less than 7. Okay, approximately if you take 0 to 6.9, it will be the acidic pH. Alkaline pH will be obviously above 7. It will be the alkaline pH depending on the relative concentration of the hydrogen ions. And neutral, what neutral pH is the 7. So each and every reaction, if you think carefully, there is a pH range of the reaction that is very important, because if we do not if you think about biological reaction, what reaction is going on in our body, this occurs in a particular pH. So if you don't know the pH of the water sample, we can't predict. Okay, because there are in some cases there is a water used as a solvent. There also pH is a very important fact. So pH is the very important factor, or very important quality parameter of the water sample. Okay, now come to the second portion, second parameter. Okay, TDS. What is the meaning of TDS? TDS means total dissolved solid. This is the another important point for the water quality parameter. What is the total dissolved solid? Total dissolved solid denote that concentration of non-volatile substances present in the colloidal or molecular state. So either it will present a colloidal state or it will present the molecular state. This is called the TDS, or total dissolved solid. Total of all the ions present in water expressed in ppm. Normally TDS, it is expressed in the ppm, all the ions present, or generally I think in case of hardness, what is the hardness of water sample, we will measure the amount of calcium and magnesium ions present in the water sample. We determine as the ppm, or milligram per liter. This is the common unit, but we can use for any of the ions, not only hardness, we can use any of the ions, how much ions present in the water sample, we can determine as the TDS. Third point, it increases due to dissolution of more mineral substances by water on its path. That means when water is flowing, if there is more mineral substances present, so obviously from there is a chance of mixing of that ions from the minerals with the water. So amount of TDS value will be higher at that case. TDS determines the suitability of water for our use of the consumption. So this is another important fact, because TDS, from the TDS value we can understand how much suitable is the water for our consumption purpose. Okay, so there is some limit of the TDS Okay, if you think about the limit, so look here that from this limit we can understand the quality of the water. Okay, so if you think about the limit, then less than 1000, okay, less than the, obviously unit is the ppm. I just told you that what is the ppm. It is the milligram per liter, how much ions present in the water in milligram per liter. This is called the ppm. So if it is less than, look here, less than 1000, then normally it is the fresh water. That means in the fresh water, obviously there is some amount of TDS obviously present in the fresh water, and some kinds of ions are also important, also very much required for our body also. So this is another important fact. Then if the limit of the TDS become, 1000 to 10,000, then it will be the brackish water. Okay, so for brackish water it will be the limit will be the 1000 to 10,000. Then if the limit greater than 10,000 to 1 lakh, okay, so greater than 10,000 to 1 lakh, then the water is treated as the saline water. Then it is treated as the saline water. But if the limit is greater than 1 lakh, okay, so if the limit is greater than 1 lakh, then it is the hypersaline or brine water. Okay, so this limit is very important. You have to keep in mind that what is the standard, what is the amount of the TDS value for fresh water, what will be the amount of the TDS for brackish water, for saline water or brine water. Okay, then classification of dissolved constituents. Okay, constituents. That means that I told you that some kinds of dissolved some kinds of elements are dissolved or ions are dissolved as a TDS. So how many types of, or what is the nature of these elements or these ions, whatever, then I will discuss about these things. Okay, so first of all look here that this is the basic concentration is the milligram per liter. This is the basic concentration. Charge, okay, charge positive or negative, it may positive or negative. Level of toxicity, that which is dissolved in the water, either it is toxic or non-toxic. This is also very important fact. Okay, so these things are very much important, which you have to keep in mind. So based on the concentration, okay, so if you think about the concentration, then major ions, okay, so major ions are mostly bicarbonate, okay, which is dissolved in the water. Generally it produces the hard water. It's bicarbonate, it's calcium, magnesium, okay, it's chloride, sodium, sulfate, silicon, that all are included as the major ions. Then minor ions, okay, if you think about the minor ion, means it will be in between 0.1 to 10 milligram per liter. Okay, major ions means greater than 10 milligram per liter, but minor ions means it will be in between 0.1 to 10 milligram per liter. They are mostly bicarbonate, then fluoride, then nitrate, then potassium, iron, strontium, boron. These all examples are included in case of minor ions. There are some kinds of trace elements also present. So if you think about the trace element, then the trace elements are mostly aluminium, okay, arsenic, barium, bromide, cadmium, chromium, cobalt, copper, lead, zinc, nickel, phosphate, silver, tin, vanadium. These all are in the category of the trace elements, which is very lower quantity. Lower quantity means almost less than 0.1 milligram per liter. So in few cases we can some of the elements also here which are very harmful for our health, which acts as a poison, like arsenic. If there is any water, any water which we use for drinking purpose, and if the water is contaminated with arsenic, then what happen? It can cause different kinds of problem in our body. Okay, so some kinds of ions or elements are important for our body, but some kinds of elements are very very dangerous for our body. Okay, now based on the ionic charge, okay, based on the ionic charge, look here, there are two types of ionic charges are there. One is the minor ions, another major ions, then the positive charge. Okay, positive charge, these ions are called cations. If you think about the example, then it will be the Ca2 plus. Okay, Ca2 plus is the example of the cations. If you think about the negative charge, these are called the anions also, like carbonate, bicarbonate, these all are the anions. If you think about the negative ions like CO3 2 minus, this is the example of the negative ions. Okay, so negative charged ions are called, this is called the cation, this is called the cation, and sorry, this is called the anion, and this is called the cation. Okay, so these are the in the category of the major ions and the minor ions. Now there are some what I told you, so there are some examples of major cations, like starting from the calcium. So if you think about the calcium, it will be the like Ca2 plus. Okay, so this is the calcium. If you think about the magnesium, then it will be the Mg2 plus. Okay, if you think about the sodium, then it will be the Na plus. Okay, so these are the major examples of the cations you have to keep in mind, starting from calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Okay, so these all are the source lithosphere. That means in lithosphere, you know, these kinds of elements are present, and from there it mixed with the water. Okay, so these are the major examples of the cations. If you think about the major anions in the water, then obviously the examples will be like starting from bicarbonate. Bicarbonate means it is the HCO3, like HCO3 minus. Okay, carbonate means it will be CO3, it will be CO3 2 minus, and chloride it is the Cl minus. Chloride means it is the Cl minus. Sulfate, nitrate, phosphate, these all are the examples are in the category of the anion. Okay, so these are the examples of the anions which may present in the water. Now there are some, I told you that there are some trace elements which also which may be present in the water. Okay, now what are the trace elements which may be present in the water, or that trace elements play a significant role in the use of the water. Okay, what I told you, that trace elements sometimes they are very very important, very very essential elements, act as an essential elements. Like some are essential elements for health and growth, some are injurious also. There are few elements also which are very much injurious for the plant body, for the animal body also. So some kinds of the trace elements are very very important, and some trace elements are not. Okay, so deficiency or excess intake of the some of these elements may cause the serious health problem. Okay, so there is a chance of the serious health problem also, so due to some deficiency of these kinds of trace elements. Now come to the most important point of the water, okay, which is very much common for all of us, or all of us, there is very much common term. This is called the hardness. Okay, so hardness, what is the hardness? So hardness of water, the hardness of water is defined as it contains the metallic ions which react with sodium soaps to produce a residue. That means there high amount of soap is required, okay, for washing purpose if you use the hard water. Okay, so generally temporary hardness is taken as the soft hardness. Temporary hardness, generally it is taken as the soft hardness or soft water, and permanent hardness is taken as the hard water. Okay, so another thing I can tell you that a soft water or temporary hardness, this is mainly due to the bicarbonate ion. Okay, bicarbonate ion means here HCO3 CO3 minus ion, due to HCO3 minus ion. And permanent hardness means it is mainly carbonate, sulfate. Okay, so these ions are mainly responsible for the permanent hardness. Okay, so now salinity of the water, it comes due to mainly sodium and the chloride. Okay, this is due to main reason of particularly these kinds of property of the water. And second thing, sea water contains approximately 35,000 ppm or milligram per liter of dissolved salts. All of you know very well, that's why sea water is very salty. If you take the water, or if for any reason if the sea water you can take in your take the taste, then you can understand that how much salty is the water. This is due to the reason that approximately 35,000 ppm or 35,000 milligram per liter dissolved salts present in the sea water. Okay, so these come due to this property. Alkalinity of the water, this is the another property of the water sample. So alkalinity of water means it is the combined effect of the bicarbonate and the carbonate with calcium ions, and it has a direct relationship with the pH. Okay, it has a direct relationship with the pH, and carbonates will be noticeable for water. Carbonate will be noticeable for water having pH more than 8.2. Okay, this is the simple thing. Now come to the biological properties. This is the very important thing. Okay, so biological properties means mainly due to, there are some things which are responsible for biological properties. These are the first of all, it is the dissolved oxygen. Second is the biochemical oxygen. Third is the or biochemical oxygen demand. This is also called the BOD. And third is the chemical oxygen demand. This is also called the COD. And this is the next one is the microorganisms bacterial count. Okay, so these all are the biological properties. Okay, so if these all are the biological properties, then in these biological properties you have to keep in mind, I will also discuss in the next class that how we can determine the BOD also, because there is an topic of 5 days BOD test. This is also very much important. I will show you, but here you will only discuss about the what are the properties of the or what is the inner meaning of each and every biological properties. Okay, so one by one we will discuss. So first of all, dissolved oxygen. Okay, so if we consider the dissolved oxygen, so look here, that if you consider the dissolved oxygen, how we can define the dissolved oxygen. So dissolved oxygen is related to the solubility of air in water at 0 degree C. Okay, solubility of water at 0 degree C. Okay, solubility of air in water at 0 degree C. How much air is soluble in the water? This is called the it is related with the dissolved oxygen. Solubility of oxygen in water decreases with high temperature. That's why it is taken as the 0 degree C. Why it is taken the 0 degree C? Because that if you increase the temperature, then what happen? The amount of oxygen it should be dissolved in the water, it gradually decreased. So that's why here it is written. This is very important. You have to keep in mind that water the solubility of the oxygen in water that decreases with high temperature. Okay, so this also you have to keep in mind. Then dissolved oxygen is a very important property for aquatic organism. This is a very important property for the aquatic organism, because without the dissolved oxygen, the aquatic elements can't live. Okay, so totally aquatic elements depends on the this dissolved oxygen. Okay. Then next, surface water body should have the enough dissolved oxygen. Okay, surface water bodies also have some amounts of enough dissolved oxygen. This is very much required. And then next, if dissolved oxygen depletes, it will be difficult to many organisms for their survival. What I told you, that in the mainly aquatic life, you know that dissolved oxygen means obviously it is dissolved in the water. So in aquatic life, if you think about carefully, that without a dissolved oxygen they can't live. So for their living purpose, dissolved oxygen is a very important factor. Okay. Now the most important term of the water pollution, that is this is the biological oxygen demand. Okay, so what is the biological oxygen demand? If you think about the biological oxygen demand, that it is a measure of the biodegradable materials. Okay, it is determined by incubating a water sample and measuring the decrease in dissolved oxygen as bacteria decompose these materials. I again repeat, what is the BOD or biological oxygen demand determined? I told you that I will show you in another class that how we can determine the BOD. But first of all, you have to understand that what is the BOD or biological oxygen demand. So it is determined by incubating a water sample and measuring the decrease in means that amount of dissolved oxygen that is decreasing as bacteria decompose these materials. Because you know, when bacteria decompose the biodegradable materials, then what happen? It use the oxygen, okay, dissolved oxygen. So that's why here it is written that the measuring the decrease in dissolved oxygen, that how much dissolved oxygen is decreased. Okay, that will be determined during the term here. This is the chemical oxygen demand. Okay, so it determines the chemical oxidation of water with dichromate. Okay, so there was the biodegradable materials in case of BOD, biological oxygen demand, but in case of chemical oxygen demand, it is the chemical oxidation of water with dichromate. Water quality parameters, water quality parameter limits the suitability of water for defined purpose. I already told you that why these water quality parameters are very important. Then you have to keep in mind that these points are very much important for maintaining the water quality parameter. First of all, limit the suitability of water for different purpose. Okay, for individual purpose there may be some kinds of requirement of the water, but that's why you have to know. Second thing, for drinking purpose. Third thing, domestic consumption. Fourth thing, agriculture purpose, industrial process, cleaning and recreation. For all these purpose, these are very much important.